So bonjour, hello, young citizens of the world, jeunes citoyens du monde. My name is Marc-André Tremblay. I am the founder of YCW, one of a team of 30 teachers. I am a teacher at grade 5. I'm grade 5 teacher at Blessed Sacrament School in Vancouver, Canada. We are so proud to conduct our 5th season of interviews this year for the purpose of serving the United Nations 17 Sustainable Development Goals to inspire young people across our 8,000 participating schools. And we say hello to our network and to our partner networks like Many Musical, and to increase the awareness of young people, the empathy of young people, the communication skills of young people, and their creative thinking as young journalists. Today, we welcome Toks Olagundoye, a trailblazing actress known for her versatile roles in television, especially her work in The Neighbors and Castle. Tok's unique background, being of Nigerian and Norwegian descent, positions her as a powerful advocate for diversity, representation, and just being a wonderful person. Toks also stars as a Harvard Psychology Department head, Olivia Finch, in Paramount Plus Frasier Reboot. The new season 2 of the Frasier's Reboot series, will premiere on Paramount Plus in the US and Canada in 2 days on September 19, 2024. It will also stream in territories across the world, so please check wherever you are so you can access this exciting show. Toks, thank you for being here. We have schools from Canada and the US wanting to ask questions. Are you ready?
Yes, please.
Introduce your school, please. Thank you.
Hi, thank you. I'm so honored to be here. My name is Tierra Glover, as Marc-Andre just said, and I teach at Mexico Middle and High School here in Mexico, New York. And I am so honored to be able to ask you about your upcoming projects and so excited. Is there anything you can share with us about any current or upcoming projects you're working on? And what excites you most about these roles?
Wow. So unfortunately, because a lot of what I do is voiceover, I sign NDAs and I'm not allowed to talk about a lot of the voiceover stuff. That said, we do, as was said before, have Frasier coming up. And I have to say that Olivia is one of my favorite characters of all time for many reasons. First of all, because I love the show Frasier. It's one of my all-time favorites, and to be part of that world is incredibly surreal. But I also feel a big responsibility because it's the first time that there has been a person of color as main actor on the show, and the writers are really, they've created a really wonderful character who is a Black woman who is strong, she's in control, she's incredibly intelligent, but she's very human, you know, she's not any kind of a stereotype. She's very sweet, she's very loving, she's a bit confused about her role in the world as an adult because she's been focused so much on work that she hasn't been able to have a personal life. So now she's actually, I don't think she's a person who's ever found her group of people before. And now through Frasier, she's actually got this group of friends who take her for who she is. And I think that's one of the beautiful things about the show is there have always been a lot of misfits on the show, but they always find where they belong, and they do that by being authentically who they are. And I think that's a really great message because I know that I was I was I was bullied a lot in school, and I was a nerd, and I was a little bit weird. People didn't really know what to do with me. But I always, I just kind of was always who I was, and a little too unapologetically, I think. But, now I get paid to be weird. So, you know, so yeah, Olivia, she's still, you can still see the awkward little girl in her, and the fact that she's, a huge nerd and has never found her place. And I really love representing that in the body of a Black woman who has experienced that her whole life, because she's just so very human and relatable.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much, Tiara. With Whitney and her classroom.
Hello, Toks. My name is Trinity. I go to school at Westmore High School in Oklahoma. My question to you is, reflecting on your youth, how did your Nigerian and Norwegian heritage shape your identity and influence your decision to pursue a career in acting?
That's a very good question. It's ironic that I would pursue a career in acting, being that I was born and raised in Nigeria and raised by a Nigerian father, because really it's, you know, it's doctor, engineer, lawyer. It's like one of those. And I was my entire youth going to be a doctor. I was focused on that. And then when I applied to university, I thought, I don't know if I really want to do that. And so I was pre-law originally, but I had done theatre in high school, and I was lucky enough to go to a high school in England where they had a focus on theatre, and they had a theatre program. It was a very good theatre program. And so I did change my focus to theatre and my major to theatre, and I had a plan, and my plan was, you know, I'm going to get a job, and I guess I'm not going to go to this fancy school I'm at anymore. That's fine. I'll go to a state school and I'll pay my way. And, you know, because I was so focused and adamant about what I wanted to do, my parents were okay with it and they supported me in it. And I think that that is a big part of my upbringing, is that I was raised by a very strong Norwegian mother and a very focused and logical Nigerian father.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Toks.
Thank you. That was a great question.
What great kids. Okay. Chris in Canada, please introduce yourself.
Hello,
Hi.
Ekaro and Ekabo.
Well done.
Yes, all right. So Bowani.
Nice. Wow, you're doing really well.
Awesome. So honored to be with you today. I'm wondering if this isn't the first time we've shared a broadcast, because I heard in an interview that you used to watch Family Ties growing up.
I
And
did.
that was my absolute favorite show as a youth, and I like idolized Michael J. Fox and wanted to be like a banker like him. And anyway, I heard that you also worked with Meredith Baxter Burney. So what was that like, just going from watching somebody to working with them?
I mean, again, surreal. I know I've already said that, but my career has, I mean, a lot of it is almost like it's been manifested, because you know, watching Family Ties as a kid, I had an uncle who lived in New York, and he used to record nights and nights of television for me, and it was a lot of Cosby Show and Family Ties, and I just loved Family Ties. It's such a good show, and I just really wanted Meredith Baxter to be my mom, like so badly. I thought she was so amazing and so chill, you know, which I love my mom, but she's not chill. So I was on this show, The Neighbors, and I don't know, it just happened. She ended up playing my mother. It was so weird. She's the most lovely human being, and it was a wonderful way to it's almost like there are things in my life that happen that are clues that I'm going in the right direction, that I've picked the right thing to do, because they're things that I've really wanted my whole life, or people I've really wanted to be around, and they actually happen. You know, it's strange. It happens to me all the time. I don't know, I think it's just, it's encouragement to dream big. You know, dream big, and as long as you're focused, I think that you'll probably find yourself somewhere in that world.
Well, speaking of dreams, I think at some point you might hit the Emmys. I was just watching those the other day, so we're hoping to see you up there with a trophy someday, and the kids here would be all like, "Oh, we were in an interview with folks." Great. I wonder, you've done this before, but I wonder if we could ask you. There's all these kids who might be inspired by your talent, and you've done a lot of accents in your life.
God.
And I wonder if I called out a few accents, if you'd be willing to do it. But if not, I totally understand.
I mean, if I'm able to, I can't do all accents, but if I'm able
right.
to, I will.
So I've heard you do a Jersey accent.
Oh my God, that's so easy. A Jersey accent's really easy for me. Yeah. I've had a lot of Jersey people in my life.
And Southern?
Oh my God. Yeah. Well, Southern's another one that's pretty easy for me. Yeah.
And
Mhm.
Minnesota?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I love a Minnesota accent. So nice. So nice and
Which
cool there.
It resembles us a little bit here.
It does. Yeah.
Russian?
Russian accent. Yeah. I did one video game where I had very strong Russian accent. Yes.
And then I heard Indian is quite natural because you have a good friend.
Yeah. Yes. My Indian accent is quite, growing up, I had a best friend who was Indian. Yeah.
Chris, we're discovering so many talents. I'm so sorry. Can we get Cynthia to ask her question because she has to leave?
Nice.
We'll get back to you, Chris.
Bonjour, hello.
Bonjour.
So, speaking of Southern accents, we're in South Carolina, but we speak French in our classroom. So, our friend Abdul is going to ask you the last question today. This is my French immersion class, 7th grade.
Bonjour.
But we are in South Carolina, so we'll let him ask his question.
How do you believe media can be powerful to promote diversity and understanding, especially among young people? What advice would you give to them as they navigate their own paths?
Oh, wow. Media is incredibly important because I think that what you see is what people believe the world to be, even though that's not the case. And that's why diversity is so incredibly important in media, because it's really difficult to believe that you can succeed if you don't see people who look like you. And I think it's a huge responsibility for people who have the platform to be opening up their casting offices or their, news off desks or whatever it is to not only people of color and not only more women, but people in the LGBTQ community. And I feel like we are getting there and it's getting a lot better, but I think that there are people who have a huge responsibility who are not meeting that responsibility. Working with Kelsey Grammer as I do, he as a powerful white man is really using his platform to, get people of color on the show, not only in front of the camera, but in the writer's room, because you used to have you'd have a bunch of white people writing for Black people or Latino people or, Asian people, which is not necessarily going to work. So we have an incredibly diverse writer's room. And, we've got people of all ages. We've got men, women, people from the LGBTQ community, it's rainbow in there. And so it's more authentic to the way the world really is. And we're able to get more situations and characters who are more relatable to everyone instead of just one group of people. And the thing is too, the more that people see other people who are different, they won't be different so much to them anymore. And I think that lessens the fear and hopefully lessens prejudice as we go along, because the more you see people who are familiar to you when you see them in real life, it's not so much of a difference. So I think it's an entirely, I think that especially today, it is one of the very big ways that we can move forward in a more positive way, because we can also talk about things that are important, like the environment or whatever in situations. So yeah, I think it's incredibly important. And I think that it's a good way to showcase the way we want the world to be.
For sure. And also, the kids were looking you up earlier and they're like, she does not look her age. She has a husband. She's so pretty. She's so young. Just so you know, I thought I'd lift you up a little bit.
Thank you. Yesterday was my 49th birthday.
Yeah, I searched you up too. It was all me, by the way.
They looked you up. They're like, oh, she was in that episode Family Guy and all these things. So they were like, oh, okay, she's legit. So I'll let you know. You're legitimized by 7th graders. So that's
I appreciate it.
highest
Listen,
praise.
compliment. I'll take it.
For sure.
I'm the one that did it, by the way.
Thank you very much.
Merci. Merci.
All right. So the many characters you've played, they break stereotypes and challenge norms. So I'm wondering what motivates you to choose such roles and how important it is to contribute a positive representation in the media.
Yeah, so I've been very fortunate in my career that I have been able to audition for roles that were not written specifically for a Black woman. As a matter of fact, in the past, there have been a lot of stereotypical roles that I have been presented with and I've auditioned for them the way that I would do it, and it has not been what they want because there's a certain very specific stereotype that they're thinking of, and I kind of refuse to. There are other people who can do that. I like to represent, I like to show the fact that, Black people aren't just one way, we are many ways. We are just like, there's just as many types of Black people as there are white people, right? So I like to show that, but I've also been able to go in and audition for a lot of roles that were written for white women. And it's interesting when a role is written for a white woman, there's not much of a stereotype there, right? So I'm able to kind of play it the way that I want to play it and what I think is true to the character, right? Who just happens to be in the skin of a Black woman. Because there's a very big difference between playing a character, like if I'm playing a character, for instance, that's focused on social justice, that's a very different thing than playing a woman who's just going about her daily life, right? Those are two very, very different things. So the responsibility is very different. And I remember being a little girl and not seeing very many people who looked like me. Most of my actor idols from when I was little are white because that's what I had to watch, right? So it's important to me that most specifically younger people can look at a television screen and not just see a Black woman, but see a Black woman with like curly hair, which, I've fought on different shows to like have my hair curly because they always want it blown out, or on Frasier to have my braids, like there are certain things that I've really wanted to have on screen so that I'm representing, and there are a lot of us Black people here on this planet, and we have a lot to offer. And so I think it's not only a responsibility for me to show younger Black people that we can be anywhere and do anything, but also to show people who are not Black that we can be anywhere and do anything. So yeah.
Thanks so much, and Odabo.
Thank you, Odabo.
We were going to sing happy birthday for you because we know it was your birthday yesterday. If anybody wants to join me, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you so much.
Happy birthday to you. Joyeux anniversaire.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear son. Happy birthday to you. And many more.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much.
Toks Olagundoye, we are so incredibly thankful for your time and your insights today. I am a Paramount Plus subscriber. I enjoy the shows on there, and I encourage everyone to check out their platform to tune in for Frasier Season 2, premiering in 2 days. You are a person who radiates all the powerful qualities we hope to cultivate in young people, and we thank you for your example in inspiring young people to use their voices and creativity to make a difference in the world. We hope to see you again. Goodbye.